Just one more song, you guys. I'm setting some other things up. Okay, maybe I'm like not actually ready to stream. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Unless, I don't know. No, I don't actually feel ready. I don't feel ready at all. I'm like still waiting for TikTok to load on my phone, so that's why I was waiting. And then also, I have these new curtains hung, but it's breezy and they kept like blowing at me, so I was trying to get them like not doing that, if that makes sense. Yay! We made it. Sort of. I don't know, I feel like I need to, well, no, I did all my social media homework, which is like posting everywhere that I'm live. A new follower! Oh my god! Hey, Zero. Let's go! New type of stream for you. You probably haven't seen an astrology stream. Welcome! Oh my gosh, it's actually hot today. By hot, I mean it's only 72, but still, it's definitely warm in here. Very interested, as you should be. Astrology is very important, but I'm biased because this is what I love doing. Let me change the music a little bit. Let me know if it's too distracting, too loud, etc. I'm still waiting for TikTok to post this one thing, and then I'm gonna go live on there. How's everybody feeling after this full moon? Randomly 83 degrees. That's rough, actually. I'm traveling this week, so there's actually not going to be a stream on the 20th because that's my birthday. But I will pre-record something for the transits of that week coming up so that we still are getting things out there. Oh no. Okay. Got everything announced. Oh. Hey Bubba, come here. My cat's kind of a big boy now. He's like jumped down and it was this loud thud. Welcome. If you're just joining, we're just settling in. I'm waiting for my phone to upload this thing so I can go live on TikTok. And it's like, I could dual stream on my PC, but then I'd have to set up another camera and I'm not gonna do that. Hi, kitten. This full moon that we had yesterday was something. It was, I don't even like have the words. My energies, I feel electric, but I also feel very tired. A lot of things came through that I didn't actually expect. And I feel that was kind of the energy of the full moon. I was really trying to encapsulate it when I was sending out my newsletter. If you're signed up for my email newsletter, you got that. And oh, Pug Feeder. I love that username. Thanks for the follow. I love that. Actually, that's awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you. Okay. There's a couple things coming up this week, and we'll dive into it once I get live on TikTok. Also, I don't know, maybe I'm just not equipped for dual streaming anymore. Maybe I'm just an old lady. I was thinking about the fact that, like, you have to be careful about what you say on different platforms because they'll, like, hide whatever you're doing in different places. Also, who in the chat has been here throughout my streams that I've been doing? I've been doing these astro forecasts for the last, like, month, actually. Let's see. Let's see. Cool. All right, this thing's almost posted. Oh my gosh. God forbid I post a, like, 6-minute long video to TikTok. But something that came through, if you're a Virgo rising like me, something that came through over this full moon with it falling into the 8th and 2nd house for me was really the knowledge of, like, it's why I was listening to this one song over and over again. It's called Enjoy the Ride by Cruella. It's a old EDM song. It's crazy to say it's old now because it doesn't feel old, but essentially it's talking about life is obviously a ride and that, like, no matter what, you're supposed to enjoy it. And I tend to be the type of person, don't mind me as I'm tapping on my phone up here. I tend to be the type of person who really, like, is all about, like, the peak experiences instead of, like, all the other parts in between. And yeah, I really recognize that it's really beautiful to be present in the moment and no matter what is happening, enjoying it no matter what. Okay, cool. Going live. Go live. Confirm. I am 18 and older. Oh my god, is it my date of birth? Come on, everybody. We know it is April 20th. Oh my god. Please. I swear I'll just go to live on my other account that has more followers. There we go. Next. Facial age estimation. Got it. allow. Oh my God, you guys. This is the first time going live on my phone on this app or on this account. So of course I have to do the thing. Thanks for hanging out with me while we get this age confirmed, meaning I look old. Meaning sorry, you guys don't want to see my phone on the camera. There. Okay, cool. There we go. Professional streamer. Awesome. Now we're good to go. Okay. So, astrology. Now we can jump into it now that I'm like officially, what is it? Already 14 minutes into the stream. Let's go. So we just had a full moon yesterday, a full moon in Libra, and we really talked about it a lot last stream, but the thing that's really potent, oh my gosh, what? Hey, it's me. I'm listening while playing League. Let's go. Who are you playing as? I was actually thinking about League the other night, which is not a good thing. Whenever League thoughts come up, it means that, like, something's wrong. Rise? No, stop thinking. Yeah, I know. So, this... yeah, we're gonna... No more thoughts about that. So, we're gonna talk about this full moon, and the thing that happened right after this full moon that we had yesterday is Venus went direct. And if you saw on TikTok, on Instagram, welcome for those of you joining on TikTok. I'm also live on another platform that's purple. I really felt the Venus moving direct, and I posted on X about this back when Venus was entering its shadow period, and then there's the post shadow period, and that's something that's like kind of a foreign concept to people who are just entering astrology, and so I'm going to kind of explain that to you guys. So when Venus or any planet goes retrograde, it's a very interesting illusion that happens, and I was sharing it with some of the members in my Discord server, so if you're interested in joining, definitely come join. But retrograde cycles are essentially like this illusion that the planet's going backwards from the perspective of Earth. And so it's got this sort of thing that's happening where I like to think about it as, you know, when you're parked in a car and the car next to you starts to move forward and you're parked, and then it like feels like you're going backwards. It's sort of that feeling. That's kind of what the retrograde planet is feeling like. Even though it's not going backwards, it's like, you know, it's still moving as it normally moves. It's just from the perspective of Earth, it seems like it's going backwards. So with that being said, it kind of is, I like to say it's like getting run over by a bus a little bit, retrograde cycles. It's like you go, the planet's going forward and then it stops and it reverses on that same trajectory and then goes forward again. So Venus and Mercury just are doing this. They both stationed direct. So both Mercury and Venus are technically in Pisces right now, moving forward on this trajectory that they just went and reviewed. So now what that energy means is we're actually doing active application of the lessons that we learned. It's all about integration. The post-shadow period after a retrograde is about integration, right? So we had Venus and Mercury retrograde within the signs from Aries into Pisces, and so they're both in Pisces moving forward, and eventually will transit into Aries again, which we'll be talking about Mercury moving into Aries a little bit later in the stream. For those of you who are on TikTok, hi, I'm also live on this purple platform where it's a lot better quality, if I'm being honest. But I want to specifically talk about Venus because Mercury retrogrades are reoccurring. They happen 3 times a year. Like, it's sort of the nature of Mercury to have a lot of internal processing and then taking things externally. That's the nature of Mercury, but Venus doesn't retrograde as much. And so this one felt extremely potent, and it actually is a very similar retrograde cycle that we had back in, I can't remember the year, but it was like 8 years ago. So it's kind of this repeating cycle that's happening. And so with Venus having retrograded from Aries to Pisces, it's from the identity of self into the one love sort of energy. And now there's this recognition that comes with Venus in Pisces. Hi, I'm a Venus and Pisces native, that love does not necessarily have to come from something that takes the form of a person or like a pet or something. Love is universal. Love is what is constantly there. And so it's like actually integrating this, meaning you don't need to extract it outside of yourself anymore. You don't need to, there's no longer the need, at least if the lessons came forward, and fingers crossed, no past relationships came up, but they probably did. I'll be honest. I had a couple people from my past pop up, and I was able to actually see the lessons that were coming with these people showing up and applying the knowledge that was coming with this retrograde. So now it's the active application of recognizing that it's a very interesting concept, because I'm also seeing like the Ace of Cups tarot card in my mind's eye as I'm thinking about this. And this is like bringing in this like abundance from God, essentially, depending, apply whatever you believe in, whatever fits there. But it's sort of this idea that there is never lack. There is never lack when you are in an abundance mindset, when you are, constantly filling your own cup. And that's sort of the integration of Aries and Pisces, is it's like tapping into source and like using that Aries energy to circulate that never ending love that comes from Pisces. So as we move forward, this specific shadow period, let me grab the dates. I just threw them in my Discord server to one of my members, because dates are powerful. Yeah, so from April 12th, which is yesterday, until May 16th, Venus is going to be moving forward on the pathway that it retrograded on. So it's really moving and integrating this energy in a very positive way, in a way where like I'm hearing the word like sovereignty is coming up a bunch. So I'm excited for that. I'm really excited to move forward with this energy. Venus retrograde, when I saw it coming up, I was like, oh shit. And I already knew what was going to come up for me personally, and that's kind of just the plus of being an astrologer, is having this in-depth knowledge. It's a gift and a curse, realistically. So also, this is not sponsored, but electrolytes. This, so good. So good. Welcome y'all who are popping in on TikTok. I'm also live on Twitch. The link is in my bio if you want to join me there. I'm probably going to be sharing my screen and showing the charts. So, gosh, the lighting is just so good. I'm not gonna lie. I feel angelic. Also, some of y'all on my Twitch chat are kind of fake friends, because nobody noticed that I did my hair. Fake friends. It's not like I spent like 3 hours yesterday doing my hair. Oh my god, my cat's so cute. So anyways, that's Venus going direct, and so I'm we're not technically out of the woods yet with Venus direct, but he just sneezed. That was so cute. We are integrating. We are integrating the lessons that came up. So let's talk about some of the transits coming up, like a brief overview. Let me put the chat right there so I can see everybody. Also, hi TikTok. It's so funny seeing all the different people pop in. So the major transits are starting on Tuesday. So on Tuesday the 15th, Mercury is going to be entering Aries late in the night. And then Wednesday, Mercury is going to be conjunct Neptune in Aries for like the first time ever at least in our lifetime. I mean, it did retrograde over it, but moving direct. And then on the 17th, oh my gosh, this energy, no wonder. Oh my gosh, wait, some dots are connecting for me. These dots of, I've been doing a lot of like collective readings. If you know, you know, if you're on my other platforms, and the sun energy just keeps coming out. And yeah, Mars is moving into Leo. And then everybody on the 20th, well, technically the 19th, the sun enters Taurus. Mars will trine Neptune, and then we have a lot happening on the 20th, which is my birthday. We'll have Venus sextile Uranus, Mercury sextile Pluto, and then Mars and the sun will be squaring each other. And that's actually Easter Sunday, which I find it very, very interesting that we have some, like, not heavy transits, but some transits that are going to be like pretty potent happening. Yeah, on a day that a lot of people are together. I always find that interesting. So I just had a little dissociation moment. As I'm like feeling into the energy of like what's going to be coming up. So I just talked about Mercury. Well, not Mercury. I was talking about Venus retrograde, right? And so Mercury just went direct. Mercury went direct on, what was it? The 7th. And with Mercury going direct, it's going over, it's in its shadow period as well, post-shadow period, where it's going to be going direct over the portions that it just retrograded over. So it went into Aries and back into Pisces, and now it's moving into Aries again. So on Tuesday the 15th, Mercury will enter Aries and is entering Aries at 11:25 p.m. PST. So apply to your time zone. So it'll probably be early in the morning on Wednesday. Insert the I know some of these words meme here. I know I tend to kind of, these concepts are out there, and I really do try to like make it friendly to everybody. So if you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about, let me know. Also, why didn't anybody tell me that like my cleaning bottle was in the frame for you guys? That's wild. Awful. I just noticed it. So Mercury entering Aries again is pretty significant because literally later on Wednesday, Mercury is going to be conjunct Neptune that just moved into Aries. And if you haven't seen my YouTube video on Neptune entering Aries, YouTube plug here, because that video was super, super potent and talks about how those themes are going to be affecting you personally, which it's a pretty massive transit. Outer planets, when they shift signs, it's essentially a generational shift. Also, how am I sounding, you guys? Am I too loud? I feel like I'm too loud for you guys. Let me know. But essentially with Mercury moving into Aries, it's giving this, it feels like I'm excited for it because it's like thoughts are going to start making more sense. With Mercury having been in Pisces and retrograde in Pisces, it's kind of like the mental thought process has been like a cosmic soup. It's like stirring and sputtering and a lot of this totally makes sense for me. A lot of like, I think of when a sim enters a room and you like cancel its action, and that's like Mercury retrograde in Pisces. And just, you know, it's almost like you don't have thoughts, but it's kind of something else is controlling you in the thoughts and how they're moving. Very much sim vibe. So with Mercury entering Aries, it's going to give a direct focus. It can be a lot of ideas coming to the surface because Mercury rules our mind. Mercury is our communication. It is how we communicate. So when we take the archetype, yay! Welcome, Tasia. I'm so excited to have you here. W Izzy, thank you, Will. Appreciate it. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm also live on the Purple app if you guys want to join me there. It's linked in my bio. It's a lot better quality. Like my eyes look so cool. They look so cool. The lighting's so nice. Thank you. See, I knew. My girl Tasia. I was yelling at everybody. I was like, nobody noticed that I did my hair. So I'm glad you noticed. Yes, this is my normal go-to color. I had somebody do it like 2 months ago and she went really, really bright. It's just mostly because I didn't want to, I had like this much like regrowth, like 2 inches or so. So I was like, I just can't do it myself. I need somebody else to do it. So, I did this yesterday. Shouts out to my mom for helping because she used to be a hairstylist, so she just kind of helps. But Mercury moving into Aries is really going to like spark some really great ideas, and I'm feeling there. It's gonna take a moment for this like to the momentum to kick up because the fact that Mercury just moved direct. So it's not going to be like this instant, like fire under our ass sort of energy. It's going to be gradual because of the fact that Mercury just went direct. And then later in the evening on Wednesday, the 16th, Mercury is going to be conjunct Neptune. And let me kind of break this down for you guys. So I just talked about Mercury being in Pisces. Well, the planet that rules Pisces is Neptune. So it's moving close to a planet that already has that sort of dream-like feeling. So it's not going to have that substantial forward-moving energy until it's out of orb within. So I would say once Mercury's at like 6 or 7 degrees of Aries, we're going to start feeling that momentum of like, and my crown's tingling, which is like confirmation for me, which it's like, the energy is going to start moving and it's going to feel like things are progressing or you're able to communicate more clearly or more directly. So that's exciting. And I'll share when that is like on later streams. But good things to look forward to. With Mercury conjunct Neptune, it's still giving that Piscean energy, that Piscean flair where it's like you're still connected to this higher octave of dreamlike states. I know a lot of people in my Discord have been sharing that they have had some pretty intense dreams. Full moon dreams are always freaking wild. I had some wild dreams last night. Also, yeah, something I've noticed a lot more with the Piscean Mercury energy is a lot more, I don't know, taking a back seat when you're talking and almost channeling a bit more. So maybe you're saying things that are coming from a heart-driven space instead of a mental space. Like I sent a voice message to my sister-in-law this morning and it was like, in response to something insight she was asking of me. And I started recording and just talking. And then at the end, I was like, I don't even know what I just said. It just came from my heart. So I hope it resonates. But that's kind of the energy of Mercury moving into Aries, and also that Neptune flare. What? Oh, thank you. Look at that. Wow. Wait, hold on. That's so sweet. Why'd you do that? Why are all these subs? Why all the gifted subs? Thank you. Thanks for the 5 gifted. I almost said your actual name, but I don't want to dox you. Thank you, Hootie Hoo. I appreciate it. Let's go. It's so funny. I'm not used to like stream gifting stuff. Because it's been so long since I've been streaming. Hi patron. Welcome to the stream. Yay. This is so sweet. Hi Harmony. Yeah, your dreams were crazy. See? It's almost like I know things. It's almost like astrology isn't bunk. It's almost like it's actually freaking amazing. Thank you again for the 5 gifted. Super sweet. Harmony, to catch you up, we were just talking about Mercury moving into Aries, but it's kind of still going to have that dreamy feeling until it gets out of orb of Neptune. So yeah. I'll be talking about that a little bit more. So, you noticed, okay, thank you. Yeah, so on the 15th, I believe. No, it is the 16th. On the 16th, Mercury is going to be conjunct Neptune, and it's a significant feeling because what it's really like, if I were to condense the energy and, oh, hi, little bee. Sorry, that was totally just distraction. If I were to, oh, yes, the 16th, your birthday. I'm so excited. I literally have it on my, like, I have it on the, wait, where's my sticky note? I literally have it on this sticky note. That's on my desk. And then, I have it on my calendar that's on over there. Bees, oh my gosh, I was wondering, I was like, okay, I just got chills with you saying that bees are a sign for you. But yeah, so if I were to condense and like boil down the energy of Mercury conjunct Neptune, it feels, especially because they're both in Aries, it's kind of giving like a straight kind of channel sort of energy from like, Aries is this spark of life. Aries is this, you know, potency of moving forward of, yeah, it's like, it's giving, I always compare it to like a laser pointer. It's like focused on something and darting around. But with Neptune there, it's kind of giving this like a depth of energy to it where we are, I mean, the ultimate thread that's coming through. Interesting. Now I'm seeing one of these cards from my deck and I just pulled it in a reading before this. Hold up. Let's see if I can find it. Then I can just say it's giving this energy. It's giving this energy. That's what Mercury conjunct Neptune is giving. It's like essentially like following a spark of inspiration forward into your dreams. That's like the feeling that it's giving for me. And actually, let's read that card because I feel like it's resonant and bum bum bum. I'm really sweaty right now. I know you guys can't tell, but I thought I'd let you guys know. Isn't it under here? Under these are the spaces we want the tools. Prayer, seed, stone, mirror, arrows. Bum bum bum. The riddle, the tear, the flame. What the heck? I can't find it. Ooh, by May 9th. Okay. A little deadline. Why? Am I just not aware of where this one actually is in the deck? I feel like I can't find it. I feel like it should be one of the tools, but it's... Is it not? There, of course, it's like literally the last one. Woohoo. Yeah, it's kind of like the red string theory. So the path, the vein, the circuit, life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously in circuit. I can't read that word, guys. Circuit, like a circuitly. I can't read it. Leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug, meaning it's pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirit are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we're connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. That's like truly the energy of Mercury conjunct Neptune. It's like throughout the like chaos of life, it's like this just direct thread. So that's yes, I'll send you guys a picture. I'll put it in signs and sinks because it seems like that's resonating for a lot of us here. So yeah, wow, super powerful. I love lately, and a lot of you guys are just now joining me on this journey of me doing astrology, channeled messages, different things like that. And truly, my voice and my ability to do this has always been present, but my like confidence in it has taken a lot of work. And it's something that my mom brought up to me the other day, and it feels significant to talk about this because of the fact that like truly trusting myself in the process of this, it all ends up like falling into place instead of, I tend to get caught up in my Virgoan energy where I'm like, it must be like this and I must execute it like this, and just all these like very structured aspects of myself. I've been able to surrender that and just let, whatever wants to come through. Especially revolving around astrology. I've always gotten very visual pictures in my mind when I'm reading astrology, when I'm talking about the transits or reading somebody's chart. And I used to be like, oh, that's kind of weird. I'm seeing this in my mind. And I'm like, what does that mean? And I used to judge it, but now I'm like fully in it. So next transit is Mars moving into Leo on the 17th. So we have finally energies like moving forward. We had Mars retrograde happen, and I have the dates here. So we had Mars went retrograde December 6th, 2024. So it went retrograde back into Cancer. Boo-hoo. And then and then it went direct, and then just is finally re-entering Leo on this upcoming Thursday. Thank the gods. Mars in Cancer has been a very like a trine with Mars will trine Neptune on Saturday. So it'll be at the degree where it's trining Neptune. And then the sun moves into Aries later, so both of those are at the earlier degrees. Yeah. I'm like trying to think of like what else. The bee. So yeah, we'll talk about that when we get on to Saturday. But Mars in Cancer has been like, it's been really important for our masculine to have like this deep rest, because Mars represents our will, our drive, our desire to move forward with things, our desire to have action, to have forward momentum. And when we take Mars and we put him in Cancer, it's like telling him to take a bath and relax. And it's kind of like this, like, and then it's like, oh wait, this is nice. I need to soften. I need to be nurtured. It reminds me of sort of the concept of a warrior returning home from war, and it's like finally gets to go home and get the nurturing that it desires and needs to. And like ooh, this feels good. I love when the channels come in when I'm talking about these things. It feels like as soon as the warrior returns home, it gives them the reason of why they are fighting, why they are going forward. They have to return home. They have to return to source, to, you know, the womb, which is the fourth house, which is Cancer energy. They have to return back to the mother, to this creation energy, to really understand what they're fighting for, so they can move forward and go out and continue to fight and continue to strive for that which they believe in, that which they are passionate about, that thing that really gets them fired up, right? So with Mars having been in Cancer, it's really been this energy of like really recognizing like where our wounds are too. Like it brings us tenderness. Like it's, when we think of Cancer as an archetype, it is the crab. And in order to get past those layers of the crab, you have to get past the shell and the claws. And then inside it's like soft and gooey and tender. And like, you know, if you're actually eating a crab, it's kind of the same thing. But there's this thing that comes up with Mars and Cancer that's really giving me the like, we got the opportunity to truly like tend to our wounds. Yeah, same. I'm hungry too. Like we got to tend to our wounds. We got to see like, oh, this was a pain point. Like this was a wound you had to quickly wrap on the battlefield of life, of, you know, those pain points of, you know, actually letting them fully heal, like actually unwrapping, seeing them, tending to the wound, letting it be nurtured, letting it heal. But it's also still painful. It's like, oh, wow, I didn't realize how long I had been holding on to this, how like I had to hide this from the world. I had to, you know, make sure it was hidden. And it's a very sensitive energy. And a lot of people have been extremely sensitive with Mars and Cancer. It's like, you can't say anything without anybody taking it personally. I've gotten to witness that a lot in my day-to-day life. I'm not sure if you guys have felt that as well, but like, it's so refreshing to have Mars enter Leo because it's a fire sign. And so it really gives this like amplification, and Mars in Leo wants to be seen. And I was sharing with people at the beginning of this, I was like, oh, no wonder I've been like channeling like the king energy, the sun energy, the masculine energy. We've got a lot of planets moving into masculine signs. And when I say masculine, that just means forward moving energy. It's the positive sign. So air and fire are masculine energies. So water and earth are receptive or feminine energies. So I'm like, no wonder I've been just like feeling this coming up. It's so interesting. Yeah, I need the masculine energy to make this decision. Yeah, it's coming though. Like I just posted a message where like it really feels like a lot of people are finally like integrating masculine and feminine balance within themselves, and just like actually letting the masculine come out and make the decisions. Like we have a lot of major planets or external planets or outer planets are moving into masculine signs. So it's like things are going to be moving forward. Like it's like things are going to be progressing. which is so exciting. And we've been in such, it's kind of feels like this archetype I call the swamp feminine, which is essentially like like just where you're hanging out in your emotions and feelings too much, where you're just kind of getting stuck and bogged down. So yeah, it's time to make some decisions. And I know you have a decision to make, and I just want to like give you like gentle grace guidance, which is like, it is whatever decision you make is the right decision, because there's going to be learning with it. No matter what, whether you say yes or no, or jump, leap, etc. Like, you're going to learn something that's going to be powerful for you to either step fully into whatever that is, or recognize, okay, this isn't for me. Yeah, I've had to like finally digest and chew that for myself, of like, it's also okay to like make choices and change your mind, you know? Anyways, Mars in Leo is giving our oomph back. Yeah, your intuition. Have you done like body testing where you see where your body goes? Or something I like to do is I'll flip a coin, and if I don't like the answer it gave me, then I already knew what my answer was, you know? It's kind of like that like trick of the mind sort of thing. I don't know. It's something I like to do. Body testing. Okay, so body testing is where you stand neutrally with your eyes closed and you get kind of centered, and it's really important with any sort of like, with any magic practices or any sort of like trusting your intuition, it's really important to not be in like an emotionally charged state, because that can affect what you're doing. So like just, you know, centering yourself. And I do this sometimes, like even if I'm at the grocery store, like I pick up something and I'm like, does my body, like, do I want this? And like checking in with your body. And so for me, my body, a yes for me is my body leans forward. A no for me is my body leans back. And so it's like just finding a neutral stance. And it's such a simple way to just like check in and like having your body choose, because that's your intuition. Like your second brain is your gut. It's like, that's where we get those gut instincts. That's why that's said, because literally like our nerves are so connected there too. So that's how I do body testing. It's kind of similar to using like a pendulum, and that's just for me. I'm like, I always have my body with me, so I can always use it. I can always do body testing. Yeah, it's a super simple tool. And yeah, I say like definitely try it out. And it's because your body knows. And something that is really important to me is like my daily practice and like my embodiment work. So like really touching into what my body's feeling, especially if like I have a choice, and it's like even maybe feeling what it feels like in your body to say you said yes to whatever this is, harmony. And it's like, how does that feel? What does that feel like in your body? Does that feel like it's going to have you thrive? Is it going to have you feel whole? Is it going to actually move you in the direction you want to move, or like going a different direction? Like maybe it's the answer of no, like I'm not going to make that choice. I'm going to wait for something else to come. What does that feel like in your body? So it's like feeling, at least for me, and everybody connects differently to themselves. So like finding the modality that works for you, which takes just a lot of experimenting. For me, being very like, you like both decisions. Well, what's like most exciting? What like lights your fire? I think it's more of like, that's kind of the energy that's coming up within like the astrology is like, what sets you on fire? What's going to like take you into something else? And yeah, I can't make the decision for you. Like ultimately, like you'll know when the time comes, like what to do. But yeah, I get that with like liking all the options that are at the table, but it's like, oh, you have to pick one main course, and it's like, but I want the salmon and the chicken. Like, is that a potential? Can you have both? Like, do you have to settle for one? I don't know. Just a thought. Maybe you don't have to. Maybe you can have, yeah. Oh no, the wind is picking up. Stay, curtains. The wind literally has been like really talking to me lately. I'll be so honest. So we're just gonna have this beautiful aesthetic of curtains blowing in the wind. You do have to pick, yeah. Okay, well, you have my full support no matter what decision you choose, and it's gonna be perfect. It looks aesthetic. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Right? That's good. It is so beautiful. Like, that's why I got these curtains, because the way the light is on them, I think I understand if what a yes, no in my body, but it's been a journey. Yeah. And I remember, like, you know, something that you shared with me of like an experience you had where it was like you had that clear, like, no in your body sort of feeling. And it's like, now you really know what that feels like, of like what a no feels like for you. Yeah. And I think it's also just within feminine nature to be like, but you know, it's fine. I'll be fine. And people pleasing and the whole thing. And it's like, no, like I've had to give myself permission that, because I used to get like a lot of anxiety with like going on dates or things like that. And I've had to give myself permission that I'm like, girl, if you're unhappy in the middle of the date, you can get up and leave. Like, you don't have to stay, which is kind of a terrifying thought, but like at least granting myself the permission to be like, you know, your peace is more important than sitting and making sure somebody else is happy through this whole thing. Like, yeah. So I hope that gives everybody permission in the chat, you know, like you don't have to be in situations that like you really don't want to be in. Is there consequences? I don't know, maybe, but like, fuck it, we ball. That's kind of my mindset with it. Anything else want to come through with this Mars and Aries? Not Mars and Aries. Mars and Leo energy. Mars and Leo is very like, yeah. It's like literally, it's actually genuinely the energy of like, fuck it, we ball. It's like, actually, this thing's coming through. So I showed you guys in my Discord that my my bonus dad built the like thing for my deck to sit on, and I was standing out on it and I was dancing this morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a stage. And my inner little girl, like my inner child, was like, let's go. Like, oh my gosh, we can have like a whole little performance on this. And that's kind of like Mars and Leo energy. Leo is the 5th house. It is this inner child energy. It is like the sun card in the tarot deck, and the sun card has like a little kid on it that's like super excited, and I think it's got like the white horse. I can't remember, but it really is this, and my crown's tingling. It really is this like exciting energy, and so it's like it's gonna bring more like childlikeness to passions and how we're moving forward in the world and how we're getting our desires met is going to be from more of a playful state. I also like to think of Leo energy as a campfire. It's something that everybody wants to gather around and share stories and connect and talk. And like at a primal level, like a campfire is where stories were shared. It's where history was passed on through the art of storytelling. And it's like, that is such a potent energy, and like, how can we incorporate that in our passions and how we move forward? Like, how can we bring this sort of gathering energy to that? And so like, for those of you who are in my Discord, like we're doing, you know, a book club, and it doesn't matter if you're a part of it or not. Like for me, that's like my invitation of people gathering, of talking, of connecting. And, you know, maybe there's more energy around having more social things. So that'll be so much fun. I'm excited for Mars to enter Leo. For me, it's in my 12th house, so it's not as exciting. But for everybody else, if you're not a Virgo rising, I'm very excited for you. Mars in the 12th house transits are a weird spiritual quest, which will be really fun for me for sure. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but okay. Favorite transit coming up. The sun enters Taurus. Wait, hold on, my hands there. There we go. Yes. Taurus. I'm obviously biased because my sun sign is Taurus, and I think we're just amazing. I think we're just we really like good food. We like soft things. We like physical pleasure, and our five senses being like the core of how we interact with the world. But that whisper was let's go. It's funny. Some of my students are like, do you do ASMR or things like that? And also one of my mentors asked me, she's like, maybe you do your content in like an ASMR voice. And I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. Your Mars is in the 7th house. Ooh, in Taurus. That's super sexy. I also have Mars in Taurus, and Mars and Tauruses are really great lovers. So okay, I should not be talking about my my way of loving and exposing people's way of loving. Yeah. Oh yeah, so stubborn because we're right all the time. No, but genuinely, like Taurus energy it can be super, super stubborn. So the sun, right? Moon and Taurus. Ooh. Sorry, that just gave me a layer. If you're open to me, like, giving you some advice, and I will wait to read your response. If you want astrology advice. Okay. I always like to check first because some people don't want to hear, and I totally hear that too. So my mom has her moon in Taurus, so I have almost 27 years of experience with a moon in Taurus. It is so important for you to do practices to be in touch with your body. Your emotions, the way you your unconscious reactive habit patterns, that's our moon. It's kind of how we get from point A to point B. It's like when you're driving to school or to work, like you don't think about it. That's your moon. So when you're unconsciously interacting with the world, you're in your moon sign, which is Taurus. But it's also your emotions and your intuition. And for Taurus people, like it really is in your body. Like your body knows. So like big suggestion on like if you're looking for decision making, like connecting to the body is going to be so important. Of like whatever practices those look like yeah, I'm like, it's so funny that I brought in body testing without knowing that you were a moon in Taurus. Sometimes think like, again, this like Mercury and Pisces like energy is just like, somehow I'm just I work for God. I just work here. I'm just sharing. So yeah, for my mom, I know for her, like moving her body is really important. Of like, sometimes it's like when she's working out, she'll get things coming through, like being able to process things like physically too. Like going on walks too is probably going to be helpful, being out in nature, etc. But body testing and just embodiment work in general too is really delicious, which is like, for me, there's like two different categories. There's meditation, which feels very mentally stimulated. It's like the upper chakras, like from like just above the heart into the throat, third eye crown is like meditation for me. It kind of takes you somewhere else. And then embodiment is like the lower chakras. It's, you know, that solar plexus into sacral, into, you know, root chakra. It's like more grounding. It's more connected to the body. So you're doing movement, you're doing, breath work. You're not up in the mind. So like getting back in your body. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely do walks then. For sure. It can be both. For Moon and Taurus, it's kind of hard for them to be separate. Hi. She's like, mother, feed me. Feed me, mom. Yeah, it can kind of be. My mom's it's very interesting. My mom's going through some health stuff too. And it's like, there's something that feels potent with the fact that health stuff's coming up because it's like she's holding things. So I don't know if it's similar for you. I'm not going to project that on you, but she's definitely like holding things, and it manifests in her body when her emotions are kind of chaotic or things are happening outside of her that she can't control. She'll try to, it ends up being stored in the body. Yeah. It's a big thing with Taurus moons. Like, your body will hold the emotions. It'll store things. And that's why it's like, it's really important for kind of more somatic practices of like, you know, Qigong is coming to mind, which is like not super heavily like active, but it's just moving energy. Or even like yin yoga, which is more of like restorative, laying in positions and just opening things up. Yeah. I love that we are talking about Taurus moon energy. It's super, super potent. Yeah, for sure. No, I'm glad you're open to receiving stuff. Like, and I want you guys to know, like in my Discord, like you guys can ask me any of this stuff. And like, if I can't respond right away, like it will come. Like right now where our community is like really tight knit right now, which feels really rewarding to me because I like to be able to, you know, have those more in-depth conversations with you guys. And like a part of me is like, I don't want it to get bigger, but like I also want more people to feel connected and have community. But for now, I'm like, ask me the questions. Or like whenever I'm streaming, like ask me any astro questions. That's kind of like why I do this, is it's like an open ground for me to connect and communicate. But a little bit more about, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Put some stuff on Discord and I definitely will respond. Or you can even, if you're like, I don't want anybody else to read it, you can just message me. Seriously, you guys, this stuff, it's so good. Oh, yay. No, I'm like genuinely, my heart, like my little Izzy is just like, yes, I have some really cool epic people in my life. Like it genuinely, like our community like makes my heart so happy. Like I've been loving it and just getting more clear and more like having more clarity on the community. Oh, so this is Element, which they make electrolyte like little packets, but they also have sparkling water electrolytes. You can't buy it in stores. You have to order it from them, but they are so freaking good. Like it's salty. Like it's a salty drink, but I freaking love salt. And you need salt. You need the electrolytes because that's literally how your neurons fire and everything moves and your blood moves. You need salt. Yeah, likewise. I do too. And it feels so good. Oh, yeah. I love sparkling water. Sparkling water and mint gum are like my shit right now. Okay. Let's finish up talking about the sun transiting into Taurus. So with the sun moving into Taurus, So the sun is essentially like our ego. It's, you know, how we want to be seen in the world. And when it's moving into another sign, it kind of shifts the focus. It's almost like a spotlight. It shifts the focus on where it's, where we're going to be focusing on in our life. So depending on where you have Taurus within your natal chart is where the focus is going to be shifting. It's going to be transiting that house and giving more of a focus on it. And so Taurus energy in general is all about the body. We go from Aries, which is all about the concept of self, into the concept of having a body, which means we can interact with the world. We can touch things. We can taste things. We have a body, like pleasure, fun, maybe not so much fun, but definitely pleasure. And there can be overindulgence with Taurus energy. But the like core of Taurus is all about being like a steward of the earth. It really is, because it's the first earth sign. It's all about being in, like, experiencing the world and what the world has to offer. And so Taurus energy tends to be a little bit possessive. It likes its stuff. If you couldn't tell, I really like my things. I like shiny things and soft things and pretty things. But it's from this level of like really deeply enjoying the art of the world, of like how, like, I literally look out. You guys have seen my view. Most of you guys who are in my chat, like every day I sit here and I'm like, this can't be real. And like just enjoying nature and the beauty that it has to offer is really a Taurian energy. But as we shift the focus to Taurus, as you know, the sun moves there, it gives this potency around really understanding how we interact with the world and how we physically show up, of how, you know, we're, you know, adorning our bodies. And it gives a lot of spring cleaning vibe that can kind of come up during this time with it moving into April. It's like, what do I have? And is this resonating with the energy that's cultivating right now? Taurus is a fixed sign, meaning the energy is just constant. So as we move from Aries into Taurus, it's like this kind of upward swing of Aries. It's a seasonal thing. So Aries is the start of spring. Taurus continues the energy of spring. And then Gemini is the mutable energy that shifts from spring into summer. So the thing about Taurus energy is it's like, since it's a fixed sign, so any fixed sign, so Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, you're either all in or you're all out. So it's like whatever you've been working on. So using the last bit of like Aries momentum that we have from now until the 19th to start getting your ducks in a row and start like getting the energy amped up, because once you're in Taurus, it's going to continue the energy. So whatever you're cultivating right now and like this week, like it's going to move that energy forward. So for me personally, I know I'm going to be leaving on a trip this upcoming Tuesday. So like I'm getting all my content ready, and like, so I have everything filmed and I have everything set up so that when I'm traveling, I can share the content, I can post it, I have everything set up, and that Taurus energy will continue that energy that I'm setting up currently. So if that tangible application of sharing that makes sense for you guys. Later in the day on Saturday, we have Mars trining Neptune. And so again, it's bringing this energy of, trines are positive energy flows. It is a, they're like working in tandem with each other. And so trines always happen within the same element. So we have this fire energy that's coming up, and with Neptune in Aries, it's giving this spark of life to our, again, I just see, I see the things pop into my mind. I get this mental image. And for whatever reason, it was giving me like the Olympics when they like carry the torch to go light it. Like it was like the passing of the torch is what I'm feeling with this energy. It's like Neptune and Mars are having this moment with each other of like, it's like passing of knowledge that's going to carry Mars forward into this new trajectory, because Mars was in Leo back in December. Like Mars was in Leo already, but it's like had to go through this learning and this nurturing. And then now that it's moving into Leo again, it feels like Neptune's passing on some wisdom. And it's this, Neptune is a spiritual teacher. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. It is this energy of source wisdom is kind of what it feels like. And it's bringing in, if not in like, a part of me wanted to talk about like Uranus energy, but it's not this like fast energy. It's like this like settling in. It's almost like Mars has like gotten new, like moved up a rank is kind of the energy. And I know I keep using like military terms, but whenever I'm talking about Mars, it really, I think of the god Aries. I think of, you know, him and like moving up into the ranks. He's went from like cadet to now he's like general. And so there's wisdom that has to be passed on. There's battle plans. There's more insight, more wisdom that gets given to this person as they move up in the ranks. So this is giving like a passing of the torch, a passing of knowledge that's happening here as Mars trines Neptune, which is really beautiful. And it's going to create this flow of like, it's giving creative energy because Neptune is a lot of creativity, which I'm excited about. And then we move to the 20th, which is my birthday. And I'm really excited for my birthday. This is like the first year where it's like, I'm going to have a little heart to heart with y'all. Like, please, I don't know if you guys have noticed my plants here, my bouquet. If you look very closely, you'll hopefully Twitch doesn't notice. But unfortunately I'll be in Utah, so there definitely is going to be no blazing. But this, yeah, a little heart-to-heart moment. So I recently, back in August, moved to where I'm at currently, and it was a big life trajectory change for me, and it's really created a beautiful foundation for me to be in the energy of where I am at currently. And last year I was living in my birth state, which is Utah, and I have this specific spot I go to up in the mountains that I've sat with myself for the last, like, hold on, TikTok, I'm still here. There we go. TikTok totally distracted me. I go to the same spot for the last 3 years, and it's kind of like this moment of solitude. And last year I got such a clear message because I've been in a lot, like the last 3 years have been a lot of introspection for me, and it's been a lot of like hermit energy. And I just got such clarity as I was sitting in the mountains that, you know, my next birthday, I was not going to be alone. And I didn't know what that meant. And like now as I'm here where I'm at currently, like I have such supportive people around me, and like they've always been in my life, but now there's like more people like you guys that are around where I'm like, oh my gosh. You need more combo for sure. I've actually never done combo. So very interesting. Maybe. But so it's really exciting. So on the 20th, it's very interesting that it's also Easter Sunday. So I don't want to go down the pathway of like, you know, pagan religions being, you know, transferred into, Christian beliefs. And because I, you know, do believe in the resurrection of Christ, I, that is something that definitely happened. I think it's very interesting that it's like got these this pagan aspect of like the bunnies and eggs and stuff. It's really weird. It's interesting. No retrograde right now. Yes, it is a good forecast. I'm also live on the Purple app if you want to jump over there. It's a little bit more intimate than TikTok if you want to jump over. But on the 20th, we have Venus sextile Uranus, we have Mercury sextile Pluto, and then the sun is going to be squaring Mars. Yes, definitely. Face speed run, definitely. With Venus sextile Uranus, this is this positive energy flow. For me, it's actually kind of interesting because it does kind of give that like Easter or Ostara kind of vibe of like, you know how bunnies like reproduce really quickly? It's kind of giving that like fast, intimate vibe of like, because Uranus is this where was I going with it? I'm just not alone. And that just makes me deeply happy is like, I happen to be returning to the same place I was last year, which is in Utah. But it's in a space where like, I'm going to be watching my nieces with my mom, and I'm going to just be around a lot of people that I really deeply care about and like love and cherish. And so it's like, I'm really excited for that. And just like this knowledge of being in a space where like just being in love, like realistically, it just feels really, really supportive. Where like last year, like I was just completely alone on my birthday, and my birthday's always been very, very heavy in just the like similar to what Harmony was talking about with their birthday coming up. It just like, just how like heavy it can be. But this year doesn't feel as heavy, which feels really nice for once to like not have a heaviness around my birthday. But yeah, I think that was like my ultimate thought path with it. I can tell my voice, me talking for an hour, it's catching up to me. So Venus sextile Uranus is given this like spicy, not like spicy, but it's like Uranus is in Taurus, Venus is in Pisces. It's giving this okay. So to break down what kind of just happened in my head there, Venus and Pisces, when I'm looking at that, it's giving like deep, authentic love. And then I'm looking at Uranus and Taurus, which is like tangible things, but Uranus is all about quick, fast insights, right? And it's giving this like heart-opening energy. And, you know, if it's affecting your chart directly, this probably will be more tangible, but like the soft like theme is like being aware of the love that's in the air, of being aware of, it feels like there's a potential for sudden things to show up within the love realm. And whether that's just like a nice compliment. We have to remember when I'm talking about transits, I'm not saying like, you're gonna find your love on this day because, you know, Venus is sextile Uranus. It tends to be just like little nuances of like, maybe a stranger compliments you and it really lights up your day. Unless it's affecting your chart directly. So Mercury sextile Pluto is giving me the energy of like deep insight, of deep, like profound, just thoughts clicking. It's almost like puzzle pieces falling into place of things that you've been pondering. You get more clarity about. So if I look here, let me pull up April 20th. So they're at 25 degrees of Taurus and Pisces. So if you have anything at 25 degrees of Taurus or Pisces, it's going to be affecting you closer, or anything at like 25 degrees of an earth or water sign, it'll be affecting you. Yeah. So 25 degrees of earth, or yeah. So whatever degree they're at, it's like, yeah, as far as like how aspects are affecting you, is really like recognizing the degree of where your planets are in your chart near. So it can be, so I'm a little bit tighter in my orb. I would say like within 3 to 5 degrees, like 0 to 5 degrees can be considered a connection point. So yeah, like if you have something at 26 or 27 degrees or even less than that, you can be feeling that as well. No, those are great questions. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, like, I know, I'm trying to think if I have anything. No, I don't have anything at the later degrees of water or signs in my chart. Everything's kind of earlier degrees, but that's where, like, I've been studying astrology for almost 11 years now, and it shows, because I know what, like, you can ask me what planet of mine is, and like I know the degree. Like this full moon was on my Saturn, like directly illuminating my Saturn, so hello daddy issues. Those were really fun. Yeah, Mercury sextile Pluto is giving oh, okay. Your Taurus is 20. So when you say your Taurus, it's like the line of like the house, or your Mars, or yeah, your IC at 27. So connecting to like home, family, is maybe like you have like a meaningful conversation with family sort of energy, or there's like, I don't know if you guys celebrate Easter, but maybe it's a lot nicer this year than previous years, like better energy flow. Yeah. And it's like, these are just quick transits. So it's just, yeah, your 7th house. Okay. So, for 7th house, I would say it's just, you know, there's might be, I know you were celebrating the fact that no exes showed up for Venus retrograde, but you know, who knows, it could have more. You know, who knows, maybe you run into somebody at an Easter event that, you know, there's potential there, but those are like little nuances that it can occur. But for the most part, yeah, my ears are ringing, so it's like it's more nuanced, but it's definitely like this, it's giving me like this lightness to the heart space, like heart opening. And then yeah, Mercury sextile Pluto is giving like clear communication from the underworld. It's like maybe there's a message from ancestors kind of thing is coming up, or like you might have a conversation with an older person kind of energy. It's like some sort of insight from generation. With Mercury, it's like communication of Pluto, which is like generational planet of generational trauma or generational energy coming through. So, and then the bigger energy that's definitely more potent is the sun is going to be squaring Mars. So Sun in Taurus, Mars in Leo, creating this square. It's sort of this like frustration around your physical desires and how you are. It's like, it's sort of this energy of like, I have this, like, what's the phrase of like, you can't have your cake and eat it too kind of thing. It's kind of giving the like, oh, here's all these nice things, but like, sorry, cat removal. It's like, it's kind of just this frustrated energy of like wanting something. I'm like seeing like a kid at like a toy store and like wanting all the toys, but it's like, no, you only get one toy. And that's kind of like just like the expression of the frustration, which is like Mars and Leo of like making a whole scene in the store. And then the Taurus energy is like, I want all the things. And it's sort of just this frustrated energy that's coming up here. I'm thinking about this a little bit more. It's a little bit of like an ego clash of like your tangible reality, your stuff, your things, like what you've been like moving into this more value oriented energy, and Mars with this Leo energy is wanting to push past the comforts of things and like put yourself out there. So there's this kind of resistance to like wanting to be seen in your expression, because it's like, oh, I could just stay comfy and like in my PJs, and Mars and Leo's like, girl, please leave the house. Like, you have so much to offer. And it's just this back and forth. And realistically, the sun has more potency because it's bigger, it's brighter, and so it's like not like sitting in the comfort. So, you know, self-expression and vital force, which is our sun, can feel frustrating yet inspiring. And, you know, it can kind of, with this, like, I'm seeing like visually with like how a square is with this 90-degree angle, it creates this point. It's like kind of pushing you to maybe even despite the uncomfortableness, like putting yourself out there. Yeah. So it's a frustrating yet inspiring energy, realistically. So, damn, I think this is the longest stream I've done. Just kidding. My last year for my birthday, I streamed for 7 hours. I was back when I was a gamer. I'm retired from gaming, by the way. But this week, I feel like if I could kind of condense it down, 7 hours. Yeah. Hi, Vivian. Welcome. I'm also live on the Purple app, Twitch. If you want to come join me over there, that's kind of where I've been mostly where I've been talking to. But yeah, I streamed for 7 hours on my birthday. I have it privated on my YouTube, and I went back and looked at it, and I was drinking, and it was really entertaining. It was fun, but it definitely was like, girl, what are you doing? Girl, what are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, if I were to condense just the energy of this week down, it's like my advice definitely would be to like start getting your ducks in a row, like energetically, so that this Taurus season can carry forward that momentum, especially because, you know, right before the sun enters Taurus, we have Mercury entering Aries, we have Mars entering Leo, which is going to kind of help carry that energy and move it forward. So then Taurus can sustain the energy going forward. Right? You know, we are moving on from this full moon in Libra, which is like we had these major epiphanies that came through for us. And with Venus in its post-shadow phase, Mercury in its post-shadow phase, this is like integration energy. And so like actively integrating the things that you've been learning and like letting Taurus move that energy forward, and letting the like fun inspirational things of like Uranus sextile Venus, of Pluto sextile Mercury come through and like give you those insights the day after the sun enters Taurus is going to be like super sweet. And then we have like a quick like overview of the following week. We have, yeah, the sun's going to be squaring Pluto. We're going to have Venus conjunct Saturn, which has been happening back and forth, and then Mars opposing Pluto, which is going to be pretty intense. We've witnessed this before, but within different modalities. And so it's like there's going to be some big pieces coming up. So this week kind of feels like preparation for moving through in integrity, in alignment with the things that have come through with the full moon in Libra that we just had yesterday. I'm excited. Like, this feels really, really good. It feels like, I'm not gonna lie, the like from from end of February until this full moon has been like massive learning, has been massive integration of lessons and like closing of chapters and like cycles. And it's like, this is like, finally we're getting to breathe a little bit is what it feels like. And then like, we're going to be moving forward. We're going to be having like other major planets move into different signs. And it's just going to be, this year is like, it's a powerful year. Yeah. The journal, shout out to the journals for holding space for us, for all the writing we've been doing. Yeah. I definitely feel that. Yeah. Like, I'm excited for what's to come, you know, even though there's like, again, I feel like I preface this like every stream. I feel like I tend to be a bit of a like emotional masochist. I like the lessons. Sometimes they're hard, sometimes they're frustrating, but I like them because I have finally gotten to a space where I'm pretty decent at like integrating things or like sitting with things. But it doesn't make it easy. It doesn't make it easy. Yeah. Okay, before we like end the stream, how's everybody feeling? That's usually how I end my like classes. I'm like, on a scale from 1 to 10, where's everybody at with their game that they're making? Hungry? Yeah. I know, I'm gonna make some food. I have some steak that I'm gonna have, some steak and zucchini, and I have some laundry that actually, let's check the timer on it. Did I not set a timer? Shit. Whoops. I have some laundry, and then I leave for Utah on Tuesday, and then I go to Utah, and then I go to Arizona after that to visit my grandma. And so I'm going to be back in this space on the 23rd, which is great. But that means I'm not going to be streaming next Sunday. Are there any... She's a traveler, y'all. Traveling. I actually am like really sitting with the fact that like I really love my home. I really love my home. I love my space. I love my routine and my food and all this stuff. And so traveling for me, I'm just like, but I'm really gonna work on being okay, being in other spaces, etc. Like just being at home in my body. Any placements, transits coming up that will help with managing time better. I'm gonna say when Mercury moves into Taurus, which... When does Mercury move into Taurus? Let me get my... Bum, bum, bum. Shouldn't be that long. Do. I'm gonna say it's... Do. It might be easier to do it here. Ooh, ha. Mercury, Mars. Okay, that means... Yeah. Okay, Mercury enters Taurus May 10th. He doesn't... Kind of close, I don't know. Enter May 10th, Mercury enters Taurus. But Taurus season's definitely going to help better with time management, in my opinion, because Taurus is very practical, very grounded. Aries energy tends to be a little bit all over the place, where Taurus kind of likes its slow and methodical ways of operating. So, it's terrible. So, suggestion for time management, as a resident Virgo rising herself. If you struggle with time management, set timers on things. Like I would forget my laundry's up there realistically unless I set a timer, but because I was thinking about it, it came up. But setting timers, yeah. Gemini. Yeah, timers. I would say if you're like trying to work in new habits into your day-to-day life, just start with one for 7 days. Don't overload yourself with a bunch of new things. Otherwise, you will get upset with yourself. You'll get upset with yourself for not following through with the thing that you promised yourself. Hi, I'm Izzy. I've done that a ton of times and gotten really mad at myself for like not doing better. I'm joking. Gemini energy is actually like the energy that I portray out in the world. My midheaven's Gemini. Y'all are great. Y'all are the little social butterflies. Y'all can yap. My niece has Mercury in Gemini, and she nonstop talking. Yeah, just be gentle with yourself, because like the trap that I used to get myself in is like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this routine and I'm going to work out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at this time. And I'm going to have a protein drink. And then I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go to this yoga class and then this and this. And then at home, I'm going to clean this and that. And just like trying to schedule myself so far out in advance that like, I'm not recognizing where I'm really at in the moment and realizing like, yeah, I can't carry that through because I haven't built the discipline to do said thing. So just starting with one thing, like for me, literally, I know they share this in like every single self-help freaking book in the nation, but like make your bed every morning. The reason, at least for me, it makes it so I don't get back in bed once it's made. I can't get back in because it's made and it looks nice. And hey, sorry if you heard the dog. Making your bed, it's also a form of self-respect too, like setting a space, setting an intention. And then like once you get that, you know, started and like you maintain that routine, it's like, okay, what's next? What can I add? Like that makes me feel good, having a made bed, etc. And then adding something else on. Like for me, back when I was rebuilding my embodiment practice and like my morning routine and my morning practice, I could hardly sit in front of the mirror for like 3 minutes. I was like, okay, this is rough. And now like my morning practice, I feel really lucky because I do have the opportunity to have a lot of time. And I know some of us don't have that luxury, but you know, if you can carve out that time, I now sit probably in my morning practice for like an hour and a half of meditation, breath work, journaling, cards, etc. Another thing, and I was in, if you guys know Mel Robbins, I was in one of her programs, and I highly recommend joining it. It's called Launch, and she actually like, it's like a 3-month long program, and she just, maybe 4 months, and it's like, she literally guides you through like setting goals, setting like daily, like 15 minutes a day focused on like whatever it is you're desiring. For me, I just used it to build my morning practice up. And then I used it to, what was my other thing? You know, focusing on my business, etc. And so key thing, and it's something I'm finally doing it. If you're in my Discord server, you know this. I'm not having my phone in bed with me at night. Because literally the only time you have to yourself in a day, if like, you know, you work a 9 to 5 or you have other things going on, is literally night and the first thing in the morning. And if you give your time away to your device, you're taking the time away from yourself. And I know it's easier said than done. I'm just working on the night portion. Like, I don't have my phone in bed with me at night. I just go to bed. And in the morning, that's the next task for me. But anyways, before I end the stream, which is a longer one, anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? This is like, of course, if you are interested in like my other things I have going on, I send out a newsletter every Monday morning that talks about the transits that I just talked about here in like a condensed written form. So if you sign up there, you'll get a free Notion template that is helps with goal planning and goes over the transits that we have coming up. It's also a journal space, so all the things I love. That freebie is going to be changing soon, and if you're on my Discord, I will give you the new free offering because you guys are my people, and I give you guys all the stuff that I'm working on. I'm going to be switching it to a free rising sign shadow work sort of journey thing. I've been working on that. It's been really fun. But sign up for my newsletter because anytime I'm working on things or any time that like I'm sharing stuff, it's always going to be emailed. It's going to be on my newsletter. So full moon stuff, new moon stuff. I'm going to probably write something about like Taurus season for the rising signs in my email. Also, I won't be live next week because it's my birthday. And speaking of my birthday, something that I'm really looking to do for myself, and it's very uncomfortable me even saying this right now, is I'm working on receiving. I am such a giver. I give 100%. High Venus and Pisces. I cannot help but give my all to everything. And that includes the people that are around me. But I'm really leaning into receiving. So I made myself a wish list of things that I want. And this is very uncomfortable for me. But if you want to gift me something, if there's like a desire for you to give to me, you can. No pressure. This is an exercise for me to be in the state of receiving. So I've like listed stuff. And so this is kind of it. And it's got different stuff all over the place. And if not, you could like buy me a coffee for my birthday. That is also awesome too. But that's something I'm challenging myself with. But I won't be live next Sunday because it is my birthday. I'm going to be in Utah also visiting family. And I will record a video of the upcoming transits and it's going to be on my YouTube. So even though I won't be streaming, you'll still get this. It's not going to be as chatty. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit more similar to all my other YouTube videos where I'm just sitting and chatting about what's specifically happening. There's not a lot of like pause for conversation and whatnot. So anything else? If you're not in my Discord community, come join if you want to. It is both Tasia and Harmony are in there, and it's been really fun. It is an open space. Obviously, you have to be above the age of 18 to join, and the reason it's set that way is because I am an educator, and I don't have minors in any spaces I interact with, and it's not because I don't like working with kids. I believe spirituality and that stuff. I'm gonna separate it. So, but the Discord space is all about creating community. Realistically, it's just a bunch of people who are doing their best, teaching, learning. We're all students, we're all teachers. I'm there giving advice. There's amazing people in there giving their insight. We're starting book club. I've been reading. I don't know if you guys have been reading. I actually bought the book. We're reading Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, and it's really good. Like, yeah, I'm excited. And we're going to be meeting every Tuesday evening to discuss chapters and talk about it. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Like, it feels good. It feels good to like have a little very, very Mars and Leo energy. But anybody's welcome. If you're like hesitating on like joining my Discord community because you're like, I don't know, this girl's kind of wacky, or like, well, yes, I am wacky. Like, I'm aware of it. Yeah, Yes, yeah, you could come hang out. We'll be discussing the I'll give you the book club role or role. I can't freaking talk, guys. I can't talk. Yeah, if you're hesitating on joining, I'd say just join, because no matter what, you're gonna learn something. You're gonna see different ways of interacting with the world, of moving through the world. I modified our question of the day bot to ask questions every day. So if you have questions that you wanted to ask, you can message them to me, or I think you can press the suggestion button and it'll suggest things or questions. Yeah, other than that, I think that's it. That's all. I'm excited for this upcoming week. Traveling, all the things. Yeah. Sweet. I love you guys. This was really fun. This felt really good. I love being as transparent as possible, and it's been a while since I've bled with the full moon, and I forget that it's like this weird, like in a deep trance state, but also like a lot of energy. And I'm like, what is happening? Like I feel really tired, but I also feel really energized. Yeah. Mine's a little shorter, so it always is switching, which is I have an Aquarius moon, so I'm not surprised that my moon cycle's always all over the place. So this has been a fun one. It's like my friend Usha, who I think I linked her Instagram in our Discord, who she does womb wellness stuff. She like posted this video of like lava. And it's like what it's like to bleed with the full moon. And I'm like, yeah, that's literally, yep. I feel, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, same. I'm totally down to chat about it. Yeah, lava, yeah. Oh, yeah, no, sorry for the guys that are here. I don't care. These are things that you guys should be aware of. It's so silly for it to be like taboo anymore. I use menstrual like reusable pads. And this is my own personal like preference, and it's because of the fact that like this is what I've been taught, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Obviously, whatever your body wants, whatever works for you, do that. The energy is supposed to flow out. And so it's like if we're stopping it, that can stop energetic flow, but sometimes I use cups. And if I do, I save the blood and I give it to the nature. That's something. Blood magic is super, super potent. Yeah, so and I usually don't leave the house when I'm bleeding. I usually tend to stay away from everybody. I'm going to kind of hunker down before I travel. But yeah, that's usually, I warn everybody close to me. It's not like a bad thing, but it's just more of like I like to be in my own space and to be with myself. Like I was recognizing it yesterday when my mom was doing my hair. I was like, she was like just talking to me, and I was like, I don't really want to be around people talking right now. And then I was like, oh, it's because, yeah. But I felt the weirdness, like some of the insight that came through for me. And Tasia, definitely share if you want to, or share in the Discord if you want to, if you don't want it to be here. But I was really recognizing my attachment to essentially that there has to be specific peaks in life, or like how a full moon is like a climax, like it has to reach a peak energy and then it's over. And I was really recognizing like that, what if like it doesn't have to, what if we can just be in states of bliss, but like not have to have a specific meaning. I don't know. Yeah, expectations. And I'm not a fan of expectations ever usually. I don't usually do it because I hate to be disappointed, and I know that's just a coping mechanism of mine. So like when my mom asks me if I'm ever excited about things, I'm like, no. But that's also my autism speaking, because to me excitement means like really expressive, and I'm just like, I don't get that. Both her husband and I are autism buddies, and we're both just like, no, we're not excited. But it was like, specifically it had to do with like relationship connections. Like it has to have like this specific outcome. And I'm like, what if it doesn't? And I just was finally like, oh. And also like really recognizing how important my own desires are. And like I knew that, but I finally, it like kind of settled in. Wasn't expecting to get emotional. I was more expecting to feel full of energy, but your growth over time came up, and moving out of really dark times and my guides being there for me and trust came up too. It was overwhelming and beautiful. Aw, that's so beautiful. Yeah, I felt very reflective of, I like had the exact same thing too, Tasia, like 1000%. Like it's so wild. It's so, and like my crown's tingling. I'm like I literally was like, I was sitting in front of my mirror this morning, was just like, I'm so proud of you. Like there was a lot of stuff that came up the last 4 months, the last year, and just like girl, you're the shit. Like girl, you did it. You moved through it. And like I loved the photo you posted. You looked so radiant, so beautiful, and like truly embodying that energy that you're talking about. And I'm so proud of you for, you know, doing whatever you've done. I don't even know the details of your life, but I'm so proud of you. This makes my heart happy. And you live close to me, so I definitely need to come visit and head up your direction so we can hang out. No pressure. I mean, you don't have to hang out with me, but it'd be fun. You don't even have to answer that on stream. I'm sorry, that was a lot of pressure. Where I've had to just move. Harmony, just move. West Coast, best coast. Something more I've had to do with stop trying to learn all the time. Yeah, motivated to grow. Yeah, we get stuck in the self-help loop trap. Like it's brutal. Like it's like, what if, and that's what like this Mars and Leo is feeling like. It's like, what if you could actually just have fun? Like, just have fun. And like, yeah. Just have fun. Yeah, it's definitely feeling that way. Oh, this makes me happy. This has been a good stream. Thanks for being so active in the chat, you guys. Like, I love that. I love interacting with you guys. And also, I love how, like, on the stream, you guys are actually my favorite color, which is that green. I don't know how that worked, but you're both my favorite color in the chat. Oh, okay. I like it. I was thinking about doing a cool name for TikTok too, but like, I just used my real name, so, you know, it's fine. No big deal. No big deal. And for my lurkers in the chat, hi, Josh. How's League? How's League with me talking about this stuff in the background? Felt like being mysterious. Freaking love that. Sweet. Okay. Sweet, sweet friends. Thank you for hanging out. I am going to go eat. Yeah, dude. I was like, y'all are. Y'all haven't stalked each other's placements yet in the roles. That's like my favorite thing to do. That's why I put the roles there, so I can look at everybody's placements and go, You know, that's why I did it. No wonder. Scorpio and Vedic, Sag and Western, yeah. Resonate with Scorpio. It was crazy the other day. ChatGPT was telling me that I had a Scorpio moon. And I was like, what are you on about? And then this super weird thing happened where in one of my apps that I have, I was putting my chart in and I was messing with the settings, and it translated my chart incorrectly and put my sun and my Mars in the 8th house. And it won't change back. And I don't know. It was kind of like this moment where I was like, what if I do have an 8th house sun? And that would also make sense too. But my sun's like right on the cusp of the 8th house and the 9th house. So it's like I can feel the pull of both of them. But my Mercury's in my 8th house. So that's just what I'd be doing. Okay. If I don't leave, I'll continue yapping. If I continue yapping, my voice is going to be gone. And I'm hungry. So I'm going to go. I love you all so much. Kisses, love. And I'll see you guys in the Discord and all the other places. Sign up for my newsletter if you haven't. For those of you lurking in my chat, sign up or else. Just kidding, nowhere else, but actually unless. All right. See you guys. Bye. See ya.